Russia has dramatically stepped up its deployment of the devastating Kh-32 missiles throughout its intensifying aerial campaign against targets across Ukraine. These strikes have thrust renewed attention on one of Moscow's most lethal and fearsome long-range strike weapons in its arsenal against Kyiv. On January 24, Ukraine's air defenses reported successfully intercepting 9 Kh-32 missiles launched in a single barrage, an unusually high number for this weapon. The Kh-32 has historically been used quite sparingly in combat, but its rare appearances have often been tied to high-casualty attacks on populated areas. The missile's blistering extreme speed renders it one of the most challenging and formidable weapons for Ukraine's defenses to detect and intercept effectively. Only sophisticated advanced systems like the US-supplied Patriot are deemed reliably capable of engaging and neutralizing this high-velocity threat mid-flight. The Kh-32's grim operational history has been directly linked to some of the deadliest and most tragic strikes inflicted on Ukrainian civilians. In June 2022, a single Kh-32 attack obliterated a crowded shopping mall in Kremenchuk, Ukraine, killing at least 21 innocent people in the inferno. The Kh-32 represents a heavily modernized and upgraded version of the Soviet-era Kh-22 air-to-surface cruise missile from the Cold War period. Air-launched from strategic bombers, capable of hypersonic speeds estimated at Mach 4 to Mach 5 for rapid target saturation. Impressive range of up to 1,000 kilometers, powered by massive on-board fuel tanks for deep strikes into enemy territory. Advanced guidance system fine-tuned for destroying large high-contrast targets like infrastructure or military bases. Unique low-altitude flight profile complicates interception efforts but inherently reduces overall bombing accuracy on pinpoint strikes. Lack of precision guidance dramatically heightens the inherent danger to surrounding civilian populations and urban areas. Massive size, heavy weight, and reliance on volatile liquid fuel complicates safe handling, storage, and rapid deployment in combat. Can only be launched exclusively from the aging Tu-22M3 strategic bomber platform, severely limiting its overall deployment flexibility. Missiles like the Kh-32 starkly underscore the critical importance of Western-supplied air defense systems in shielding Ukraine from aerial annihilation. Scarce Patriot batteries have left vast swathes of Ukraine perilously vulnerable to these unstoppable high-speed missile barrages from Russian bombers. This grim development arrives as France and several EU states fiercely clash over missile supplies desperately needed for Kyiv's defense, per the Telegraph. 11 EU capitals are vigorously pushing to loosen restrictive EU loan rules, enabling Kyiv to urgently buy vital weapons directly from the United Kingdom. However, Paris has vehemently objected to allowing Kyiv to use EU-backed loans for purchasing British Storm Shadow long-range cruise missiles. France argued forcefully that EU money should primarily strengthen and subsidize Europe's own domestic defense industry over foreign competitors. Kyiv estimates around €24 billion worth of essential weapons required for this year alone cannot be sourced or secured from within the EU framework. This hefty figure mainly covers the provision of US-made Patriot air defense systems and advanced PAC-3 interceptors to counter Russian missiles. The British Storm Shadow crucially serves as a gap filler for the EU, which sorely lacks comparable long-range strike options for Ukraine's counteroffensive. Amid this bitter internal clash, the NATO chief sternly warned that such restrictive procurement rules could critically weaken Ukraine's hard-fought defense against invasion.